In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the front strut assembly on your Kia Optima. Located behind the front wheels, let's get started. Using a 21mm socket, go ahead and remove the lug nuts. Remove the wheel. Next up, we're going to be removing these two bolts that hold the strut assembly in place. It's going to be a 19mm on one side, and for the nut side, it's going to be a 24mm. Using a 19mm socket and a 24mm wrench to hold the nut, go ahead and crack it loose. Don't take it out complete yet. We're just going to get them loose. We're going to do the same on the bottom. Get the wrench on it and get it loose. Next up, we're going to be removing the link from the strut assembly. Using a 19mm socket, go ahead and remove this nut. If you have issues with the link spinning, you can go ahead and use a 17mm wrench. You can put it on the back of it. And now take the knot off. Now go ahead and just slide the link off. Next up, we're gonna see three 12mm bolts holding the ABS sensor onto the strut assembly. We're gonna go ahead and remove those. Using a 12mm socket, go ahead and take this bolt out. Put the bolt to the side, we're gonna be reusing it. Next up, we're gonna remove this 12mm bolt. Using a 12mm wrench, go ahead and take it out. Next up, we're gonna be removing this other 12mm bolt. For this one, we can use a 12mm socket, so go ahead and take it out. Next up, before we remove these two bolts completely, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a jack underneath the knuckle, and all I need is some pressure onto it. And this is gonna prevent the axle to overextend. Now that we have the jack underneath the knuckle, we're gonna go ahead and remove the bottom bolt first. Using the 24mm wrench, go ahead and put it on the nut side, and then take off the bolt. Using the 19mm socket on the other side. Remove the nut, and slide the bolt out. Make sure that you do the same on the top bolt. Next up, we're gonna be removing this cap. Using a little pry bar, go ahead and just prop it out. We're gonna be reusing it, so just put it out of the way and save it for later. Next up, using a 14mm socket, we're gonna go ahead and loosen out these three nuts. Do not take it completely out, just get them loose. Now that we have the nuts loose on the top, we're gonna go ahead and lower our jack a little bit. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use a hammer or a mallet to separate the knuckle from the strut assembly. And this is the reason why we put the jack underneath. If I didn't have that on, it would overextend the axle and probably damage it. So right now, we just want to make sure we don't put any stress on any of these lines, your ABS line or your brake line. So just go ahead and move these out of the way. Like I said, be very careful not to damage any of these lines. Now that you have the strut off the knuckle, we're gonna go ahead and completely remove the three 14mm nuts on the top. Next up, grab onto the strut assembly and remove the 14mm nuts. Slide it out. Here we have the new assembly. Before we go ahead and put it on the vehicle, we just want to make sure we remove the nuts that are pre-installed on the assembly. So go ahead and take those out. They should be hand tight. If you have any issues, just go ahead and use a 14mm socket or a wrench to remove them. Go ahead and take them off and just put them to the side because we are going to be using those. Now we're ready to feed the strut assembly the same way that the old one came out. So go ahead and do that. You want to line it up with the top. And by hand, you want to start the nuts. Go ahead and line it up in the top and start the nut by hand. If you have issues doing this by yourself, you can always ask for help. Before you go ahead and tighten those up, we're gonna move on to the bottom and install the 2 bolts that hold the 2 knuckle. Before we put the knuckle onto the new assembly, the first thing we wanna do is the ABS sensor cable. We wanna put it on this side of the strut. So go ahead and do that, being very careful not to overstretch it. Just feed it onto the other side, just like this. Grab onto the knuckle, line it up with the strut. If it doesn't line up with the strut assembly, you might need to go up and down on the jack. Once you line it up with the hole, go ahead and feed the bolt through it. And we're gonna be doing the same on the bottom bolt. Start the nuts by hand. Now we can remove the jack from under the knuckle. Before we remove the jack from under the vehicle, we want to go ahead and just jack it up a little bit. So we're now able to snug up the top of the strut. Now that we have the top of the strut bottomed out on the strut tower, we're going to go ahead and snug everything up. We're going to go ahead and tighten the bottom before we torque it. Now we're gonna go ahead and snug everything up using the 24mm wrench on the nut side and the 19mm socket on the bolt side. Go ahead and get it snug. We're gonna go ahead and do the same on the bottom bolt. Don't tighten it completely because we're gonna torque it. Now that we have those 2 bolts snug up, go ahead and grab onto the ABS cable and pull the bolts by hand. Line it up with the holes and just get them started. We're gonna be doing the same with this one. Now we can go ahead and get it snug. And for this one in the back, because it's hard to reach, we're going to be using a wrench. For this, just need to get it snug. Now we can go ahead and install this one. Start it out by hand. And now snug it up. Now we can go ahead and slide the link onto the strut assembly. Line it up with the hole and push it in. Now we can go ahead and start the nut by hand. Get it as far as you can. Using the 17mm wrench, we're gonna hold the back of the link so we can just get it snug. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and torque everything down. But before we do so, we wanna put some pressure onto the whole assembly. In this case, I'm gonna be using a screw jack to imitate the vehicle being on the ground. So all I need is to put just some pressure onto the entire assembly. Now we can go ahead and torque down the bolts that hold the knuckle. We're gonna hold the nut on one side. We're gonna be going to 130 foot-pounds. Do the same on the other bolt. Now we're gonna go ahead and torque our link. We're gonna hold it on the other side with a 17mm wrench. Now we can go ahead and torque the link to 87 foot-pounds. Go ahead and torque this top of the strut to 51 foot-pounds. Now we can go ahead and install the cap that we previously removed. Line it up with the top and go ahead and push it down. We can go ahead and remove our screw jack. After you install the strut, you want to make sure that you bring the vehicle to an alignment shop. Install the wheel. Start the lug nuts by hand. And get them snug. With the vehicle on the ground, we're gonna go ahead and torque it to 80 foot-pounds in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.